What's happening? My name is Adrian and welcome back to What the Pun. Hope you all been good, great and amazing. So, in today's video we'll be doing a bit of an upgrade on the Mark 6 Golf R where I'll be turning this into this. Yes, finally putting a induction kit on Mark 6 Golf R. So to get started, I'm going to show you step by step how I get it done. So let's go. Alright, so to start off with, we're going to need to remove the original engine cover which houses the air filter, and to get this started, two clips here will need to loosen up. Disconnect this connector from the sensor. There's two clips here that will need to loosen up so we can wiggle this out, and disconnect this from the engine cover as well, and we'll most likely need to remove this as well. So let's go. Cool. Now that everything is removed, I'm going to need a bit of time to go over the instructions to see what's going on and how I'm going to fit this new induction kit in. In terms of what I got the Racingline induction kit for the Mark 6 Golf R, and as to why I opted for this particular version, why I opted for the Racingline one, I will go over that once this is all fitted. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so in the box there was no instructions at all, just this piece of paper which is a bit of a maintenance guide, advice on how you can take care of your air filter, which is useless for me right now, but from having a look at all the parts, I'm pretty much almost ready to go. I just need to remove only this hose, which is held by a clip a little further down, should be able to reach and disconnect that, and I also need to disconnect this from this bit as well, and then we're good to go. So I will show you a bit of an update step by step as to how I get on. Cool, let's get started. Okay, so before I jump in and put this all together, just a bit of advice, because in this kit you do get different sized hose clamps. So before you get started, I would suggest kind of like roughly laying it out and figure out which clamps you use where, because last thing you want to do is start putting it together, use the wrong clamp in the wrong location, and then you're going to have to take it apart and kind of start again, which is going to be a pain. So just a bit of advice, just kind of roughly lay out where you're going to use different clamps before you get started. Cool. Right, like I said, need to remove this from right there, and just a bit of advice, just make sure you have a good hose clamp removal tool, because some of these clamps are quite tough and quite hard to reach. With the right tool, it makes moving these clamps very easy as well. And just another word of advice, if you have one of those kind of hose hook loosen up thingy removal tools as well, it would be advised, because removing this hose from here, this hose which basically goes to your diverter valve, and if you want to see a diverter valve upgrade, there's a link up here. But yeah, a nice hose removal hooky tool thing would be advised, because this one was stuck right in here, quite tough. Right, so the next part I'm just going to start assemble it in stages and keep you all updated as to how I get on. Cool. Next. Alright, part 1 of the assembly done, which you will find is probably the most time consuming part of the assembly, as you will find that this hose is a bit of a nightmare to get to fit in, but it's also one you need to make sure is securely fastened, because if it's not sat in correctly, it's not tightened up, then you do find you may have a leak in terms of air, and that can hinder the performance of the car. So you want to make sure this bit is done right and perfect. Cool, so the next stage should be all pretty straightforward now. Okay, so part 2, I've fitted this. Do make sure on the original engine cover to remove the MAF airflow sensor to plug it in here so that your cable can plug into the MAF airflow sensor. I've gone ahead and fitted the bracket, which I assume goes here. So I'm going to do a bit of a test fit, just make sure it's all in the right place, and also fit this. You do need to use the original screws, so I hope you haven't thrown those away. But I'll do a bit of a test fit, just make sure I've got everything in the right place, and then securely fasten everything else in. Cool, so I'll get cracking. Okay, so almost done here. Can kind of see it all coming together, almost finished. But basically, a bit of advice in regards to the air filter housing and this air duct. I'll recommend putting this all together at the same time. I haven't securely fastened it yet because I'm going to leave that to the end once I have the other hose there attached onto this bit here. But yeah, the reason why I had it fitted together is because once you have the air ducts fitted in and you're trying to squeeze the air filter housing in, it's a bit of a tight squeeze and it's a bit of an edge trying to squeeze it into this sort of hose air duct bit here, so which is why I did it all together at the same time. And yeah, cool, so just gonna wrap this up and try and get all finished now. Boom. Okay, so there we have it. This is all done now. So let's go over what we've done. So in terms of the original airflow sensor, that's transferred across. Use the new screws to fasten this in place. That's connected. This part of the hose is securely tightened. This is securely tightened as well, and the one at the bottom here, that's securely tightened. And going along here, this is secured, and for the airbox housing, the 2 screws from the original air duct has been transferred across, so that's all secured and tightened, and the clamp is secured as well. Cool. One more thing, in the box there was this kind of rubber band, big strong band kind of thing that wraps around that bracket that goes here, so that reduces the amount of play there is here, so you don't have any weird rattlings when the car's driving a bit leery. Anyways, before I go ahead and test this out, just make sure any loose tools have been removed and cleared. So you put everything away first before you run your test and close your bonnet, because last thing you want, if there's any loose tools around and you close your bonnet, boom, a bit of an accident, something breaks. That's not what we want here. So just make sure tools are put away before you do your test and close your bonnet. Alright, so okay, so job done. But before I go over everything I've done today, here is a bit of a before and after. Okay, so in regards to the before and after, let me know in the comment box down below what you think. Good? No? Yes? No? Any difference? Let me know. So overall, I'm very happy of the new setup that I have on MK6 Golf R now. In regards to any performance differences, I will see how that goes in the next few days after I've given the car a bit of a drive. And in regards to overall, this is the one I wanted to go for. So let me show you in regards to like comparisons between other third-party ones. I'll have some pictures here or maybe here. So, and also I'll flip the camera around and show you as well. Okay, so this is why I decided to go with the Racingline induction kit as opposed to all the other ones available. So as you can see on the MK6 Golf and the MK5 Golf, the air intake duct is in this location. So as you can see, as air's going in, it's going in a straight, nice flowing line like so. Whereas all these other ones, you tend to find the air filter cone is in this kind of angled location, so that even the pipe kind of like instead of going straight, it kind of angles off here, and the cone is in this location. So for me, it doesn't make much sense, if you know what I mean, because like if your air duct is here, I like to have a nice airflow going straight as opposed to air duct and then your cones here, pipe is kind of angled off, so then your airflow is kind of a bit weird, right? You're not getting the best airflow into your car. So yeah, that is my reason why as to I went for this bad boy. Okay, that's it. Job done. And in regards to what next with the Golf R, so at this point I think we'll need to do a engine health check, just to do like a carbon clean, make sure the fuel injectors are okay. If they're not okay, they'll probably need to be refurbed, because we want to make sure the engine is in good running order before we add more power. And because we're going to be adding more power, more horses, we want to make sure the handling is good so the car can cope with the extra horsepower. So if you don't want to miss out on what is going on with this Golf R in the near future, make sure you subscribe, like, and click on that notification bell. Boom. So that is it from me this week. I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye bye.